Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies and gentlethems. Welcome to today's matchup of the LADXR times FFR Archipelago Tournament. I am Hate the 13th, joined in the booth by Ravioli this evening. How you doing, Rav?
I'm doing just great. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. Looking forward to this. Game one was a pretty good match between these two. Early Canoe made a bit of a difference for Team Pizza Power. That would be Maddie and Dark Moon. Um, whereas Rad's Power and Sir Linkalot, Team Avalon, they didn't find the canoe quite early enough, but Sir Linkalot had a bulky black belt at the end because he found a blue stake grind.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. And for those who are unaware what's going on, we are in the semifinals of this tournament, which means that the LADXR players are on a seashell hunt. They got to find 20 seashells, and then they will be able to go to the egg and take care of the final boss therein. Whereas the FFR players are on a floaterless shard hunt, looking for 32 shards.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of exploration.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff for him to do. And for those who are unfamiliar with what Archipelago actually is, it is a multi-game, multi-world. So we have taken all of the items from Final Fantasy Randomizer and all of the items from the Link's Awakening DX Randomizer, mixed them all up and threw them all over the place on both worlds. So, Dark Moon's canoe could be, say, in Maddie's Dungeon 8, whereas one of Maddie's swords could be in Sky if they're really unlucky. It's a fun little beastie. A whole bunch of games that are in there for it, and just so much chaos can come of it, and I love it.
So I am pretty new to Archipelagos, so that means one of the players could just sit around twiddling their thumbs until the other player unlocks. Oh, we're off here.
Technically, they could. It's generally not a good thing to do so because, well, you'll find items in your own world as well. All right, looks like we got level 3, or level 1, we got Thunder / Lightning 3, we got Warp, we have Invis 2 and Cure 4 on the white side. So this is some pretty generous magic I rolled for him.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. And Link's got the Ocarina, but I don't know if that opens up a check right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure what checks. I think that opens up a couple of things, but I know it's useful for him.
Sure.
It's been a while since I played Link's Awakening, mostly Final Fantasy guy myself, but I have great fondness for it. It was the original Link's Awakening was the first game I ever bought for myself, way back when I was a wee sprog.
Yeah, I believe the Ocarina lets them warp in 2 different places of the game.
Yeah, normally it does. I'm just not sure about any active checks it gives. Okay, it looks like that did give a check, and it looks like we got the necklace from the Ocarina. But top bottom left gave a key. And it looks like the store item for the LADX player is just 2,750 rupees, or not rupees, gold for the FFR player. Totally not worth it. And Maddie is making some good use of the library, getting some hints on where some stuff might be. Progressive shield in Titan's Tunnel. Vicky has the magnifying glass. And I missed what was it, the waterfall. I saw it was something.
And meanwhile, in Final Fantasy, the King and Sarah, I believe, gave items to the Link players.
Yeah, it looks like the king gave a ship and Sarah gave some cash. Ship's real useful because they start off with the canal open, which means they can get out to the open sea and, well, don't have to worry about doing everything on the inside.
Oh, Brack's a nice spell at Provoca.
Well, too bad. That's always a nice find there. Link's going to be going and getting that. I think it was the tail key for Raz here, real quick. Lightning Fury coming out and just knocking him down. And it looked like in Matoya there was a seashell hidden about. Oh no, it was the magnifying glass. That's what it was. Wow, we got real cheap houses. 341 gold today. That's real nice to see on the FFR side. And real cheap
Oh,
gold Cheerios.
yeah, gold +4 for 6K.
That's
very
real
nice.
nice. So this is one thing that can happen with LADX. You can end up with no sword or no power bracelet early, and that means you can't really do much of anything.
Yeah.
So they
The
are
bushes
both.
there, you need a sword or the fire rod or something to. I know there's a check right on that screen with the many bushes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's checks everywhere. It's fun.
Checks
And yeah,
galore.
Reds and Maddie are just like, I need something to do. Can't even get into the shop because the bushes are in the way.
And the power bracelet will let the Link lift those stones there, those rocks. But yeah, where's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Saw a seashell show up on Maddie's side there.
Yep. Matoya was gold in the seashell.
Yep.
Looks like Darkmoon is heading to the Dwarf Cave to try and find something, anything, to help Maddie out. It looks like Sir Linklot might be heading to the outer seas. Oh, never mind, he's going to Dwarf Cave as well. Seashell and magic powder.
Oh, the powder, yeah, opens the bushes. There we go.
Yep. They got a compass from that one. That's, well, it's something. Not much, but it's something. But it does allow them to get to a whole bunch of other places too. You can't kill anything. They have to run screaming from everyone, but it's something at least.
Yep.
Alright, we got Sleep and Quad X at level 3 black. Not too bad to find Quad X there.
That's one of my favorite spells, honestly.
Oh, and it looks like the magic item they started with was a Saber Bomb. Or they actually...
Wow.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That's the Heal Rod.
Oh.
So that's even better, because that means there's a couple of them in there. Ooh. And getting a Flying Rooster from Sir Linklot there.
There's a sword. Yep, there's a sword.
Yep. Might have a little bit of a delay versus two of them. Oh, yeah, that would be why. Got about a 20-second delay on Sir Linklot's stream. So if you'll pardon me for a moment, I am going to try and get the runners all synced up. This will be just a quick second.
Sure. And I see Maddie found the Rock's Feather for Link, which allows the jumps.
Yeah, the feather is really nice, and it is one of the few items that is actually banned from being hinted for.
Interesting.
Because it'd be too powerful to be able to hint for it. Bombs are also another one that's banned from being hinted for.
Uh-huh.
And there we go. Now I should have everyone in sync. We apologize for the pausing there, but, you know, has to happen sometimes.
Oh, I got to give a quick shout out for Dark Moon's Ninja Turtle sprites there. That's pretty rocking.
Yeah, Dark Moon is a really good sprite crafter and has done some really interesting things with them before.
Yeah.
Right? All of the alternate fiends, not the alternate final bosses, but the alternate fiends, those were all sprites that Dark Moon put together. I mean, they were taken from other games, but he's the one who actually converted them and made them work for power bracelet for rads though, and made them fit within the Final Fantasy templates.
Yeah, that bracelet's gonna open up a few checks, I believe. There.
Yeah,
Those boulders
and
out of the way.
yeah, and it just makes things a lot easier being able to pick up and toss things. Ooh, and looks like there was a bow in Marsh Cave top. Marsh 7 specifically. That's real nice to see. So yeah, it seems like Team Avalon might have a little bit of a better start going for them because Sir Link decided to pop on out and go raid the go raid the Dragon's Hoard to get a bunch of easy checks there, which included the sword and the feather. Oh boy. It looks like there was a hint for the canoe, and I think that says it's at Mirage Tower 18. That's gonna be a fun one to get to. You're gonna have to walk all the way over there. Or
Oh,
take the
yes,
boat.
this is the modified overworld. They've got to
Yeah.
walk all the way from Lefane to. Wow.
Well, They don't have to walk from Lefane. They've actually. We don't have the bridge to Lefane on. Right now, we've got just the northern docks on for them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Much as I kind of wish that we had a shipless setup, we haven't got that yet. Have to figure out how to make a land bridge across the Cardia Isles and to the Onrak continent. Then we can do shipless. So,
Now,
ABC.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say ABC in chat. I know who's a more accomplished LADXR player, mentioning that because the feather that does give Maddie a good exploration advantage for the dungeons. Which I can understand that the feather is real powerful.
Oh, sure. So, hey, you'll have to just help me out here. When I saw Sir Link grab 2 chests and then just reset out, does it automatically give the item to the other player and they don't need to save? Is that correct? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, no, you are correct in that. With Archipelago, it's all the items that you open that are labeled as AP items on the FFR side. It just sends a signal to the Archipelago server that, hey, this chest has been opened, and you don't have to wait for a response from the server. It's kind of like it takes it and acknowledges it, so you open them and then you can reset right away and not have to worry about them.
Got it. It looks like Maddie got her sword. That's very helpful.
Very useful for her indeed. Looks like the adamant also came through for both Dark Moon and Sir Link Lot from somewhere. I did not see where. Looks like like Raz is playing about in the color dungeon, and we are joined at the booth by Sonny Arath coming in to take over for me because he knows LADX. I don't.
Yep. I am actually glad you messaged me about that hate because I was going to see if you wanted me to anyway. So that way you did have LADX coverage. It did look like Rads took a fairly bad death against the Golem here in the color dungeon, which is slightly unfortunate considering that, you know, both him and Maddie are still sitting at 3 hearts overall. But as it stands, it looks like this seed has been fairly kind as a whole.
Yeah, the FFR side, they got some good magic and saber casts, and
it's absolutely fair. The Rooster on Rad's side definitely gives a few more checks opened up on the overworld. So that is a very welcome find. Allows a lot of the mountain to be accessed. And as Maddie is heading to right now, Animal Village, as well as the Yarna Desert. So, you know, Ravioli, I might need a bit of a recap as to what's happened.
well, you know, I'm just keeping up with all of these screens. We've got a sword, we've got a rock feather, and the power bracelet, I believe, for both Link runners. And yep, just Dark Moon and Sir Link are step in step clearing out the Earth Cave right now, and not too much of note on the FFR side that I've seen quite yet.
That's fair. I do notice that there was an adamant obtained for the FFR side, and I imagine that probably didn't turn into anything much. Oh, first heart container for Maddie.
That's nice.
That's very nice. Less worries of death.
I believe the keynote for FFR side was the hint of canoe in Mirage Tower, I think. So it's a bit ways out there, yeah.
A very
But they have the docks on, yeah.
Yeah, since this is the floaterless, one of the floaterless weeks, shall I say, those docks are absolutely going to need to be on. So we've got Rads running through the rest of the mysterious woods checks, and Maddie is heading over to Bomb Arrow Cave, as it's called. Not so much because of firing a bomb arrow to open it, but because you use a bomb arrow to break one of the blocks normally. Now with the Magic Rooster in tow, that definitely trivializes this cave. So always nice to see. And it's just a key for color dungeon sitting there. That's... I would say that feels bad, but it could feel worse. And Rad's doing the ultimate fishing game. And gets a golden leaf for fishing up the big fish.
Sonny, would you kindly refresh my memory what the golden leaves do?
So there are 5 golden leaves that you have to collect in order to gain access to the Pothole Field portion of Pothole Field, which is behind Richard's villa. Those 5 gold leaves were his treasure, and returning those leaves is ultimately what grants you access.
All right.
Maddie coming up to Armos Cave here. And just getting $50 for it. Now the question is, what's going to be on the big guy, Armos? And Maddie actually skipped one of my personal favorite Armos statues to skip. All right. Looking like a pretty clean Armos fight right now for Maddie. And that was a very clean Armos fight, actually.
That was fast.
Spin attacks with level 1 sword gets it done relatively quickly. But we're a level 2 sword, then it can be done a little bit faster.
Uh-huh.
All right, going
Pretty
into the shop.
Pretty bleh magic at level 5. Go ahead. Yeah.
And just getting money for the FFR side. What's the 980 shop item, though? Hey, more money. And I bet Rads is feeling pretty bad after getting that Rock's Feather so late.
There's a 4P grind on Sir Link-a-Lot's side. That's always a yes. Nice levels.
Yeah, that's always decent for some early levels. I just looked at the blurstings over on the FFR side, and definitely some fairly juicy blurstings. The top right horse chest. That sounds like a face shrine chest. If I were to hazard a guess. Ooh, a sun sword coming from next to Seashell Mansion, and within Seashell Mansion there's a key. Not a key, the key. Allow me to correct myself on that. All right, Dark Moon working on the pirates right now.
Yeah, that key's very nice because I believe Thief has lockpicking, but it's level 23. That's pretty late.
It is level 23, and fortunately, I don't see the malice of late lockpicking on the Thief. So that does keep it at level 23. It does not go to level 33. Oh, that's a level 2 power bracelet. And the banana. That's access to Canlet Castle with those bananas. Granted, Canlet Castle access was already had via the rooster. So I have a feeling there might be a play over to Canlet Castle in the near future. Darkmoon going in to see what Toflocked has. I like the play. Just to get 10 gold on that first chest. Oh, that always hurts.
But with Oops I'll Lose, you know, there are quite a bit of key lock chests, so this is definitely worthwhile. Oh, T-Rex on Sir Link-a-Lot's side.
And the black belt goes down.
Yeah.
That's not what Link wanted to see, that's for sure. But it's good to know that the T-Rex is there.
Oh, for sure.
Link heading into Gaia. Looks like Kiki only had a little bit of money. So nothing great found there. And now Maddie is going to go ahead and dive on into Canlet Castle, which is definitely a play that I like. Starting off with the Bomberman meets Whack-A-Mole check. Which Bomberman meets Whack-A-Mole. That's a fun name for a check.
Right. We've got a seafood party pack on Dark Moon's side. Looks like he's gonna take it. It's nice XP also.
Yeah, this looks like it might be over in Astos' castle.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the first check in Canlet Castle not panning out too terribly well for Maddie. Just yielding a clock. I mean a compass. And then a Pro Cape. Oh my goodness, these checks, they're so good. So we don't know if that item dropped by the Ball and Chain Guard is going to be an AP item or potentially the letter itself. So we'll find out here in a moment.
Dark Moon survives that second seafood battle there by narrow margins, but nonetheless.
All right, just a shard coming in from the Ball and Chain Dark Nut. Looks like there might be a few more checks that are doable in D2 for Maddie, but I'm not 100% certain. Oh, Maddie, unfortunately, getting sniped by the Keys. Keys are evil little things, I swear. And there's the power bonk for Dark Moon.
The Keys are the bats. Yeah, they were the worst in the original Zelda 2.
Yes, Keys are the bats, and I will heavily agree with you on that statement. Oh no, Maddie was not able to make it out of the pit. Had to clear the text box, and no matter which button was hit, Maddie was throwing the rooster. And with the bow in hand, Rads makes the Armos fight look super easy. Which, to be fair, it's not too terribly difficult. All right, Moblins for Maddie. Very good 2-cycle on the Moblin King. And that fairy just did not want to get anywhere near Maddie for collection. Yep, top right, Horsehead's chest and face shrine for that chime. That's a little nasty, as the face key hasn't been found yet. Looks like it's just the bird key that Maddie has right now. And Maddie is gonna head to the mountain. Or not.
So with that chime buried in the face shrine, that's gonna really hamper the FFR players, I believe, correct?
Yeah, it will.
Because the canoe is in there, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like the face key is somewhere in LADX. To answer that question, Ham, you can't really glitch into face shrine. You need to have the face key in order to really get in there. Now, if we're talking about actually getting to the dungeon, on the other hand, then you can do some very fun tricks in order to make that happen. Maddie doing a bomb trigger in order to get the shard right there. Pretty good trick. And that's a magic rod coming in from the Mountain Pass chest. Now, I would argue that as it stands, the magic rod is probably the best weapon that Maddie has. Granted, bomb arrows in and of themselves are extremely powerful. It's a question of whether or not the resources are available. So for a moment, I thought Maddie was going to do some Jesus jumping for us, but nope. Just going to use the rooster to fly over. And then decides, nope. Heading up towards the Bird Key Cave. So I'm not sure how many keys for Key Cavern Maddie has right now, but I imagine it's a lot. Technically speaking, only 5 are really required to actually get through the dungeon. And there is obviously that chance of a seashell being either on the boss reward or even on the instrument of the sirens.
So they have the main dungeon key to enter the dungeon and then smaller keys to navigate, is that correct?
More or less. That's a level 2 sword.
Oh.
Alright, chest game has lots of money. So that would have been $250 if Maddie decided to follow everything in chest game.
Looks like we're coming up on a lich on Dark Moon's side. A little speed bump here. Maybe not with these scalings are a little bit higher.
Could you say Darkmoon has an itch to kill a lich?
Itch to kill an itch. I can't even say that. Itch to kill a lich. Tongue twister. But Lit 3 takes him down.
So Maddie just did one of my favorite little tricks of heading up towards D7. If you have the rooster and you land in between two pits by jumping off one of the ledges, you actually have a decent window in order to be able to pull out the rooster again, or pull out the rooster while you're over the pits, and just take off.
Yeah, this Link's Awakening has some really interesting maneuverability. Haven't played it in a while, but I always remembered quite a bit of fun.
Well, just remember, LADX is nowhere near as broken as the original Link's Awakening, where, you know, you could map warp.
Okay.
Maddie jumping up, going around, and picking up, ooh, the flippers from the Mirror Shield chest. All right, that's a pretty good find. That's access to D8, access to Monbo, or did I say D8? Access to D5, access to Monbo. Once the Angler's Key is in tow, easy access to easy access to D4. There we go. If my brain will work. I mean, technically speaking, they already have access to D8, but getting through the fire turret is sometimes a little easier said than done. All right, Rad's opening that first chest, deciding, this isn't worth it. And then picking up the level 2 sword. Oh, Maddie is not able to get the bomb triggers here. There we go. Now the bomb triggers are wanting to work. But the downside right now is that Maddie's out of bombs. Those bombs are definitely needed in order to finish out everything here. And, you know, speaking of Monbo, there's Monbo's Mambo.
Boy, I'm looking at Sir Link's battle against Lich and low numbers. Maybe Lich had something that I missed, but he survives the battle nonetheless. Lights his first orb.
A whole 2 extra shards on the board. All right. Maddie's about to push this block sideways, or not. Because I said something about pushing it sideways. I can take the blame for it. But if Maddie's going to attempt to complete this dungeon, she's going to have to either do Goomba Surf or another skip. Grim Creeper fight, always a fun fight to go through. Just to make it over here to the Nightmare Key chest. And unfortunately, it's just some more money. Nice little find on getting the Nightmare Key for Catfish's Maw for Rads. Unfortunately, out of bombs right now.
Are bombs available for purchase, or is it just enemy drops?
So after you acquire the ability to hold bombs, you can buy them in the Covalent Tool Shop or in the Mabe Tool Shop. The problem is that there are none available prior to getting to Turtle Rock. And if Rads was about to try to go into Turtle Rock, it wouldn't work out. There's no Frog Song of Soul in order to actually awaken the statue. And that ultimately just leads into an even bigger question of, well, how am I going to go about doing all this? All right. It looks like Maddie is going to go ahead and make a run towards the boss, I believe. I think we're going to see a Goomba Surf here.
And our FFR runners look like they're spending their time just grinding, waiting for some progression. Dark Moon taking the seafood party pack grind, and Think a Lot's grinding in the desert.
Unfortunately, Maddie did not get Goomba Surf there. But opts for the P-Hat skip instead, which is also another way that that can be done. And there's the bottle all the way at the back of Eagle's Tower. Looks like Maddie's gonna have to respawn the Goombas and attempt another Goomba Surf. Well, Rads, on the other hand, has been just cruising through this bottle grotto. Been no big deal whatsoever. Making it look easy right now. Granted, it is with that level 2 sword in tow. Alright, Maddie has gone. That's enough. I'm done attempting to surf. So it looks like
Looks like
Rad's
Sir.
is... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I
you
was just
first.
gonna say Sir Link is setting up for a black belt grind. It looks like.
It looks like the setup's going fairly well thus far. As Rads has re-entered Color Dungeon, and with all of the stuff in tow for Color Dungeon, the keys as well as the Nightmare Key, this definitely does make it a lot easier to do. And, you know, this giant Zolar sword may be no match for it, but it doesn't matter when it's in blob form. It's only when it's in Dancing Pickle form that it matters.
So would you say the color dungeon is one of the more trickier dungeons?
The Color Dungeon in and of itself is actually pretty easy. I would say the trickiest dungeon really is Eagle's Tower D7, just because of Goomba Surf, the bomb triggers that you have to do, as well as some other minor tricks that you may or may not decide to do, depending upon how routing plays. All right. Rad's taken out the Color Dungeon boss very handily. That's a hook shot and the pineapple. So that pineapple can be turned into papal, and of course the hook shot gives access to Catfish's Maw, allows even deeper access into the dungeon. And since Maddie knows where the flippers are, since she does have them, that makes life a lot easier. But Maddie did pick up the face key. So that does mean that the chime is available for pickup.
That's great news for the Final Fantasy runners there.
It most definitely is. It's good news for Dark Moon, as that gives Dark Moon quite a few more checks to do. But definitely unfortunate for both Rads and Link, as, well, Rads doesn't know that the chime is there, I believe. Of course, the first room of Face Shrine is always a super easy one. That's the D1 Nightmare Key there in the first chest. And here in the second chest, just some money. It looks like Darkmoon's having a grand old time just taking the Seafood Party Pack, while Link's been very efficient.
Yeah, Darkmoon looks like he's going for the full party grind. While Sir Link is going for the solo black belt. We'll have to see which one is the most beneficial as we unlock this progression.
Well, Link's already almost 32 on that black belt, so that's pretty big.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. More progress through the face shrine. Maddie actually isn't too terribly far from the chest that has the chime. It's sometimes kind of hard to keep track of all these hints.
Oh, for sure.
And there's the Frog Song of Soul sitting just right there in that freebie chest. And it looks like Rads is now going to head into the Eagle's Tower. And would you look at that? It's a free ribbon, but not for FFR.
I was just going to ask that. Which ribbon? So it's the Link ribbon.
Yeah, it's the Trade Quest ribbon. Maddie using the ever so fun Bomb Arrow strat there in the 2 Wizrobe room. An amazing strat to use in there just to be like, okay, we're good, we're done. We don't have to do that room anymore. So there's the fake out of the hook shot. Rads was trying to get over the block wall, but unfortunately it just was not panning out.
Maybe it's a blessing in disguise and push him closer to the face shrine.
Well, the problem is that the flippers are there in the mirror shield chest for D7. So there's a little bit of a blessing and a little bit of a curse on that. Beautiful super jump from Maddie right there. Making it look easy every time.
Oh yeah, it's just fantastic gameplay from what I see here.
And here in the pot chest is just a soft. As Rads is going to take the Rapids ride. Maddie's doing... Okay, that's another one of my very, very liked super jumps. Getting over into this area without needing any keys. It was perfectly executed and always looks amazing. And there's a key for Eagle's Tower for Rads, so that's the progress needed. There's the chime for Darkmoon. Darkmoon's able to continue through into, or continue into Mirage Tower now, and be able to make more checks.
And we have a lot of checks in this even in Mirage Tower without the cube. It's 23 chests, I can't remember. But quite a few.
There are 18 in Mirage. I couldn't remember the exact number off the top of my head at first. All right, Maddie is done over in the Face Shrine for right now. And Darkmoon is just cruising on through Mirage, working on, I believe, Mirage 2 as it stands. And you know, I would be willing to hazard a guess that Maddie's going to be checking Color Dungeon here very shortly.
Darkmoon's got his party in very comfortable low 20s level. We'll pick up our canoe here very shortly and maybe some other goodies.
Oh no, Maddie got the statues backwards there. But realized what she did wrong and was like, easy fix, we're fine. Rad's, though, heading back over to the Eagles Tower and is getting ready, hopefully, to find those flippers. But with the hook shot in tow, after grabbing those flippers, that might actually lead over there. Yep, level 2 sword, level 2 bracelet, feather, pretty much everything needed. It's an easy game. Alright, Maddie picks up the heal pot. Oh yeah, definitely for glitched.
Darkmoon's gonna go to Gaia and see what this bottle turn is now that he has the canoe. He can get there.
I mean, he could have gotten there even beforehand. Link was able to get there beforehand.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Pardon me.
And it turned out to just be some money. Alright, Rads has the flippers. Now let's see if a hint goes out as to where the chime is. Okay. Chime's been hinted for. Now the face key's been hinted for. And I think Rads is going to make the beeline for it. So Maddie working on finishing out Color Dungeon. We'll have the hook shot very soon. Rad's beelining it for the face key. And blink and you miss it. Maddie finishes out the boss of Color Dungeon and now has the hook shot. As well as that pineapple, because you can't forget about that pineapple. So I'm not 100% certain where Maddie's going next, but I was going to say I'd guess Bottle Grotto. But it seems that I'm wrong. It might be a play over to Catfish's Maw. But prior to the play over to Catfish's Maw, Maddie's going to stop in and have a fun rapids ride as Rads picks up the face key from the Martha's Bay Mad Batter. Dark Moon finding blue dragons there on the Ordeals tile, normally where the zombie dragons are located. We could call that a French vanilla tile. It's still a dragon, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Rads is making the long swim over to get back to the Face Shrine area in order to pick up that chime for Link, as Maddie is just diving into the water. Splish splash, taking a bath. There's the entry into the Face Shrine for Rads. This is where things are definitely going to pick up a bit. And all things considered, this game is still very, very close, even though Maddie and Dark Moon have a bit more of a lead, I'd say. But when it comes to the amount of seashells, Rads kind of has that covered.
Yeah, I believe the FFR runners are just sitting around a dozen or so shards on my last check, but haven't been able to clear any of those orbs to get the shard boost, just aside from Lich.
Well, keep in mind that the EXP boost from the shards comes in at every 8 shards. And Maddie got my favorite pose to have when going through Monbo's Bombo. Upside down Link.
And the extra heart container's nice, but probably not what she wanted to see.
Oh, for sure not what she wanted to see. Rads gets the super jump and picks up that soft. And now it's time for this super jump. If you're in the wrong position when you do it, you just get locked.
So I expect Dark Moon to make his way to Volcano, another treasure-heavy location.
Oh, absolutely.
Sir Link's black belt is 49. When he gets out in the world with a canoe, he's going to be unstoppable.
Ah, Rads did not quite get it. Did not have the right pixel lineup. And decides to go, I'm not going to worry about doing this anymore. Which, you know, truth be told, can't really blame him. That super jump is probably one of the harder super jumps to execute. Looks like Maddie is going to head over to Turtle Rock. As Link just continues taking out these delicious, delicious sandwiches. All right, there's the Nightmare Key for Catfish on Maddie's side. And a super easy flame turret skip, if you will. And Link is in Mirage. The game can continue.
Very nice.
Looks like another ribbon was found by Darkmoon here on Volcano Armory floor.
And those zombie dragons we were looking for in Ordeals packed up shop and moved to that armory. It was a little bit warmer for them, probably.
Oh, they're on the Grey Worm tile?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good news, considering that tile exists on Agama floor as well and is in a much better spot.
Yes, Darkmoon can still use quite a bit of levels there on his black belt.
And Darkmoon realizing that damage tiles aren't doing damage.
Really?
Yep. Not something you would expect, right?
Yeah, I guess I never played with that setting before.
I think when Luffy and I were working on the flag set, we actually overlooked that, so it's not trolling on our parts, but more just an unintentional miss.
Well, I always thought the floor was made of hot lava, but not today.
Nah, it's very cooled lava. It does make for a very friendly volcano ham.
Oh, sure.
Because it's not something you would expect. That's very true, Rendell. Hey, look, more medicine for Maddie. Still really close in seashell count. See, you knew where I was going with that hate. Ooh, Madden getting the last pixel of that platform. Very, very good clear. Getting to Blano here in Turtle Rock. And just 2 level 2 sword spins, and that's all she wrote for Blano.
And there's the eye tile at the carry floor.
I see.
Just good grinds all over the place in this FFR scene, I would say. Take your pick.
Yep, and Darkmoon's gonna take this and run with it. I like the plan here. Link already in Ice Cave. Finds the Agama tile.
You know, just too much of note. Oh, go ahead.
Just blast it away. 10 hits for 1624 damage. Nothing too bad.
Yeah. I don't think there was too much of note in that volcano, so maybe ice is the play.
You know, that might be the case.
Slab?
Could you say that Volcano is giving the cold shoulder this time?
Oh, yes. No damage tiles. No goodies.
Makes for a longer and kind of tougher grind to set up if you're going for something deep. The Magic Rooster is a seashell this time. So that would be halfway on seashells for Rads. Well, now let's make that a little more than halfway on seashells for Rads. I will say, Maddie getting the Oxy Ale was a very good find. And I'm so happy Maddie showed off swimming in lava. I'm so happy she did that.
I missed where the cube was picked up, but that's very helpful too.
It most definitely is. I think that was picked up here in Turtle Rock.
Okay.
I might be mistaken, but our trackers would definitely be able, or our tracker would definitely be able to tell me. Cube was in Volcano. Okay.
Oh, I missed that. So Volcano did have something of value then.
Yeah, something-ish of value. That's a slime key. Oh no, Maddie hit the button too early. But gets rewarded with a seashell afterwards. Not a bad reward, that's for sure. Oh, there are a few seashells here in Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock's looking like a pretty good dungeon to go to, if you ask me. Light axe, pretty good find. Maddie just slamming her face into that first Odongo worm to get it stun locked. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of seashells here. But we do have a bit of divergence going on as Rads has gone into Key Cavern now. As Maddie picks up another key for Key Cavern. Looks like Rad's just decided to go, forget it. Alright, looks like Dark Moon has hit the point that he is content with where his black belt's at and is now going to go take on Carrie. So, alright, Ravioli. How much damage?
Oh, I don't know, 800? Oh, 1100. Very nice.
A solid hit from the black belt.
For sure. Looks like he had 16, so that'd be 18 shards over the halfway point for Dark Moon. And Link, I believe, had 15, and be just right behind him in shards here.
Yeah, Link's right there. It looks like Rads is hitting some of the corner tiles that, you know, there are some issues doing super jumps off of those. And Maddie is in Catfish now. Yeah, Link has done some absolutely incredible catching up. But having a level 40x black belt going burr is a thing. And on the seashell side, everything's very, very even right now between Maddie and Rads. This is a very, very close game.
I only see a difference of Oxio, so that's pretty squared up, I would say.
32 shards. All right, Maddie has taken the lead on the seashell count. And is just breaking through everything here on or inside Catfish. Gets the Ballad of the Windfish from what would be the Nightmare Key Chest. And now Darkmoon is headed over to the Sea Shrine.
Darkmoon found something in that remote chest on right side, second floor, but I can't quite make it out on my screen. Does it say hibiscus? Yeah.
That is the hibiscus.
Yeah.
Or as you might hear some people like to say, hello, biscus. All right, Rads is going to make the play over to D1.
Oh, Oh, Link
And-
finds Pegasus boots in Sky Palace.
And there is a loot. So that Oxyale is going to be required. Lots and lots of seashells being found. Just a handful remain. This does have the potential to get pushed to a game 3. Rads just needs to get 5 more seashells. And then Link needs to get to the loot ASAP.
So 32 shards in the loot gets us in to our final boss on FFR. They need 20 seashells, and do they need more progression items to complete the Link side?
As long as they have bow or hook shot, or not hook shot, bow or boomerang, I'm sorry, then they can kill Deathel. That's a red tunic. That is a nice find. We do know that there are a lot of seashells available in T-Rock, so this could actually give a fairly decent edge to Rads, but there's also going to be the question of, is Darkmoon going to be able to get into go mode before anybody else has made it there? Alright, Maddie's decided to go ahead and fight Slimeal here. Let's see how this fight goes. Nice 4-hit on the first. Nice 4-hit on the second. 2-cycle Slimeal is always really nice to see.
Very nice.
So I see we had Buzz and then Got on Rad's screen. All right, Maddie making the play over to the Tail Cave now as Rads has just finished it. He's deciding to skip the boots check. And then it looks like he's going, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's probably not a good idea. Unfortunately, that does get Link another shard. It looks like Link's sitting fairly pretty on shards right now, too.
And here come 4 more with Tiamat.
I like that, Rendell. Because I read that as he's missing 67 when I know you're saying he's missing 6 to 7.
Is that a brat kill on Tia? I couldn't quite tell. Or or the black belt punch, but either way, Tia is down. And
I would say
Link's
a
out
little.
of the sky tower.
I'd say a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Because let's be real, a black belt punch more or less is a brack.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Link is 2 shards away from go. This is gonna come down to the wire. Because I don't know if Link's been over to Waterfall or not yet. And if there are 2 shards in Waterfall, then that's it. Link's in go. And that could spell some bad news for Pete's power with having to go into a game 3. Oh, Link hasn't been into ordeals yet either. Were there
I think
any
there was at least
shard?
1 shard here, if I remember correctly.
If there are 2 shards here, then that's really good. And it looks like Darkmoon is just blitzing straight for Tiamat. So this might actually be the big difference. But it's all going to depend upon how these encounters look in Ordeals and the Bridge of Destiny.
There's 1 for Link.
That's 1 of 2 shards.
Just 1.
Was that the second shard? Was that the second shard from the Bottle Genie? Both the FFR players should be in go mode. If I'm not mistaken. Except for the lack of the loot.
The loot, yeah.
On Link's side, Darkmoon most definitely is in go mode. And that loot is in Sea Shrine, I believe. And the Oxyale is over in Turtle Rock. So because Maddie was able to get the Oxyale from Turtle Rock, that really allowed Pizza Power to just blast on ahead here. So of course Lich is going to do Lich things. Carrie is going to use the wrong element.
Big punch. Carries down.
Kraken is going to be tame. And evasive. And is
there's a
packing a
nuke.
nuke. I do believe that was 2 seashells in waterfall. And there are at least 3 seashells in Turtle Rock. So this might actually put Rads into go. Darkmoon working on Tiamat. Tia goes down. Astos is at the Elfin Castle today. Rads is just trying to be a bit too fancy on this. It just needs to walk forward. There we go. Darkmoon versus Chaos.
He's gonna
Fight.
buff up his black belt there with the roost stick a few times. That's very safe, very smart. Otherwise, Chaos isn't really hitting him too hard. There's a nuclear though, but Oh, and swirl. I don't think Chaos is long for this world. And Chaos is down. Brad's picking up the Oxsail for Serling's side. This will allow him to get the loot and finish up his seed. Raz is still looking for 3 seashells here. And I wish I knew more about Lick's Awakening here, but Maddie and Darkmoon Pizza Power have taken this race. So GG's.
Indeed, with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour 34 minutes and 6 whole seconds. You failed, Maddie. You didn't get the hour 34 even.
Ah, dang, I tried very hard. My in-game timer said 1:34:04.
Time not found.
Yeah. Actually, it'll be even less with the in-game time at the end of the credits. I didn't even pay any attention. I just we finished and it's like, how are the others doing? Yeah. No, that was a seed, TM.
I mean, it's better than the seed I rolled.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll take it that I can see that they got boots, which means they actually got the variety of stuff easier versus just how many shards does Sir Linkalot have right now? Do we know?
All of them.
All of them? Because I heard you guys talking about the loot. The loot's behind Hibiscus, and Rads has it in hand and is not turning it in. Like, ugh. Yeah, no, that was the biggest thing.
I mean, you guys were sitting so close on seashells throughout pretty much the entirety of that seed.
Yeah, I ended up coming to the executive decision that with seashells at 6 at an hour, I was like, okay, how do we get Dark Moon over the line? Like, that is going to be the better option. And then, what did we hint? It was hinting Canoe, which required hinting Chime, which was
required
then like,
hinting face key.
Yeah. So then I hit face key, and then it's like, oh, face key requires me to go to what was it? I don't remember which dungeon. Either way, it was a hot mess of trying to just chain all this stuff together.
It wasn't D7, was it?
No, D7 had the flippers, which was the really big thing. Like, I'm like, I have the stuff to do D7. I'm gonna go do D7, except for the Goomba skip, which y'all definitely didn't watch me fail multiple times.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a rough time with that one.
Yeah, I gave it like 2 shots and then came to the decision like, this is Seashell Hunt. I'm not doing this for 2 checks. Because I didn't have hookshot yet. Came to that decision a lot in some of the dungeons. It was just like, I could fight Master Stalfos too, or just ignore him completely.
Yeah. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, and I think when I think I got up to, what was it, like 11-ish shells after Turtle Rock, and I'm just like, nah, it's not worth the teleporter. And then, yeah, like I said, we were trying to just get Dark Moon over the line, because I'm just like, it will dump the necessary stuff, and we will be fine.
Yeah, and I mean, that loot placement being behind Hibiscus, being behind Oxyale, and Oxyale being in Turtle Rock, was most definitely a thing.
Yes, it was a thing. I didn't even have the boots to do the easy skip. I'm like, can I pull off the feather skip on short notice? Apparently, yes.
Yeah, and I did enjoy that you were swimming in lava there for a little bit, too.
Oh yeah, I only did it for the briefest of moments, though, for the sake of just like, I just need to get to the end. I want to grab as many checks as possible, because just in case there weren't enough shells in the seed with Dark Moon, I wanted to make sure that I would have enough.
Yeah, speaking of Dark Moon, where is he?
He is going to Lowe's to get screws to finish installing a bookshelf
That's fair.
before it closes. It's on me to recount our troubles.
I mean, to be fair, you didn't have too terribly many because, cheating.
Yes, there was much cheating. I was worried it was going to be another seed where I had to ignore flippers and dive into things, but yeah. I think the last hint I did was like Angler Key, because I'm just like, again, on the off chance, it gives me something to do that's close to egg.
Yeah,
In
it was close
case.
enough.
Yeah. Granted, it turns out I
And-
didn't need it. I could have stood in front of the egg longer.
Yeah. But you never know, right?
Oh no, Rads, no! No! Rads needs to learn this quick kill. I need to teach this boy.
I need to relearn it because
I've been
I've started
failing it
screwing
on
it
the
up again.
bomb placement too, so yeah, I should probably practice it as well.
That's exactly where I'm failing on it.
Yeah, the timing on that bomb drop.
But there definitely is a chance to still have some blue balls come out from Aga.
There
'Cause you
definitely
got one.
are. I did get one.
And one's all you need.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that you might be able to tell us how frustrated Dark Moon was at this. He tried to Dan off his party in Volcano running on the lava tiles, and then
Yeah,
finally
but there was
came
no
to the
damage being
realization
done.
that no damage was going out.
Yeah, he's sitting there like struggling with it.
How
Yeah, that
mad
was.
was he?
He was a little frustrated. Solid like 3 out of 5.
So we did not have that on to troll.
Yeah,
We forgot that it was on.
I mean, it definitely came into play with a forced black belt party.
To be fair, Link ended up grinding in the Ryukon Desert on some sandwiches.
Yeah, Dark Moon was having trouble finding a grind spot when I was just like sitting like 300 things to have to send to him.
Yeah, if he had gone to Power Cycle in the desert, he would have been good. But that is also GG's for Team Avalon with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour 40 minutes and 59 seconds.
Applause all around for them. They did wonderfully.
Well, let me say, Maddie, this has been a lot of fun for me. I haven't even seen one of these before, and glad you guys let me join on comms, and it was a lot of fun. Great gameplay. So GG's to everybody, and good luck with the next race.
Thank
And-
you. It's one that's going to be interesting to say the least.
And I got pulled in about like 20 minutes into the race and was like, all right, I need a recap.
Yeah. The next race is against Wildham and BB, who I see Wildham in the chat right now, and I just like we've been looking at how the two of them race, and it's basically going to be, in terms of BB and I, we're very close in skill, so it's going to be one that's the things really on Dark Moon. So I'm going to need to very much get my game to max if we're going to take this, because Dark Moon really wants to take it all. He's never won one of these tournaments, and he really wants us to. I don't want to let him down.
He has yet to win a co-op oriented tournament, and the best that he and I have done, we've gotten to what, semifinals, right, Dark Moon?
Yeah, I just got back from getting screws from Lowe's. Yeah, we got to semis once.
Yeah, and that's the closest we've gotten to winning a co-op tournament. So
I made it to finals! Yay!
Yeah.
yeah,
Yay!
now you got to bring your absolute A game.
Yep.
I thought I did well today, except for the fact that I didn't realize that lava doesn't kill you here, so that was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, fun fact on that.
Yeah.
That was an accident.
Okay, it wasn't supposed to be on?
It wasn't supposed to be on. We didn't realize it was on until, I think the week before we started, and we couldn't really change anything.
No, yeah, no, that's fine. I was spent like a minute trying to kill myself, and then I'm like, I'm not dying. Why am I not? Is this a feature or is this a bug?
It's actually a flag.
So no, once I figured that out, I was like, oh great, now how do I kill my party? Because that thief did not want to die. Okay.
I mean, Link, you want to tell Darkmoon how you killed your party off?
Sandworms.
You found one? I couldn't find one anywhere.
Yeah. Bottom left quadrant. Second. It was second encounter.
Did I
That's
just
something
not walk far enough, or I guess whatever. I got the eye. The eye was fine.
You also did find a blue stake though while you were heading over to Gaia.
Yeah, I tried to do those in ordeals. Oh no, I didn't get a blue stake. I got stakes.
No, Link found a blue stake.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where that. See, I was because just the encounter table was just kind of messy. I wasn't hard resetting very often, so I had no idea where that encounter actually was off the reset because I was just like, if I knew where it was, because they were very light. Like I don't even think they had 600 health.
Yeah, they weren't the first couple because I tried some stuff over on that side and they weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, because after the second one, there was a decent run. I'm like, I'm not checking third encounters. Like, I'm checking for second encounters. If I find something on second encounter, that's what I'm doing. I found the regular stake. I'm like, all right, that's good enough. We'll check the others just to see if I can get blue stakes since I already knew it was squishy or sandworms, and I found sandworms in the final quadrant. I'm like, okay, let's see how much health they had. And they had like just over 200. I'm just like,
yeah. I did the seafood party pack early just to get some base levels because they were in Astos, and then I tried to get a grind going on blue Ds later, and the blue Ds just would not kill my party. So I gave up because it was wasting too much time. So when I found the eye in Volcano, I told Maddie, I'm like, nope, I'm doing this. I'm finally getting my grind, and I'm going to find something that will kill my party. It's fine.
Yeah, no, the sandworms had no problems just smacking my entire. Like I got there when I was like level 8 or 9. I was fairly low, so I was like, I'm not killing everybody yet. Like, and then when I found out that as light as they were, I'm just like, all right, quad X, I'm just gonna burn through my charges. We'll house up once. We'll do it again. Get everybody to like 14, 15. I'll kill off a couple. Level one of my red mages up with my black belt just to get it 21 because that's when the black belt's gonna be able to one shot. And then I got the second red mage killed, and it's like, all right, we're good.
Nice. Yeah, if the fire 3 stick that was in the game had been a lightning 3 stick, I think I would have just sat on the seafood party and would have just ground that until whenever.
That seafood party pack was actually treating you fairly well too.
It was. It wasn't bad. Yeah.
I wouldn't have blamed you for sitting there.
No, with the right spell to cast against them, I absolutely would have. But like having only a fire 3 stick to keep on the black belt if I got everyone else killed, that wasn't going to cut it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rads, your turn.
I will be honest; it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. It is. Well. Yeah, that was within what 7 minutes. Like, yeah, I was surprised.
Good job.
Because I think I have a question. How early did you do Color Dungeon?
I dipped fairly early. I didn't finish it until a little bit later. I did it relatively early, though.
Yeah, so you I was sitting on. Yeah.
I was going to say, you finished it a lot earlier than Maddie did.
Yeah, because I was like up in D7 stuff. Like I can do I can do all of D7. I'm gonna go do that, and then like Darkmoon spoon fed me all the keys for it, and I'm like, dang, this seed's really pushing that Color Dungeon. And then I go in for the hook shot that I needed in D7, and I'm like, oh, they probably got this early.
Yeah, no, I commented to Link probably about 20 minutes from the end. Because I started doing some really, like, if you didn't know what was going on, it looked really erratic. Because I was going and picking up one thing out of one dungeon, one thing out of another dungeon. And we were bopping around because I was trying to follow a hint chain that we had. And so I went from Eagle's Tower, where I picked up Chime. Then I went to the Mad Batter at Martha's Bay to get my face key, which I then went to the top right Horsehead to get. What did I get you there?
It was the chime.
That was the chime, which led to my canoe.
That's right. I got flippers. I got flippers in Eagle's Tower. That's right. Yep.
And then, like on top of that, you had to get the hibiscus in order.
Yeah, that was the thing.
what was it? The Oxy Ale?
Oxyale.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then
No,
that-
hibiscus was loot.
Or hibiscus was loot.
You needed Oxyale. You needed Oxyale
Yeah.
because hibiscus was inside Sea Shrine, though.
Yep,
And
hibiscus was required.
Oxyale-
Oxyale was required.
Oxy Ale was in Turtle Rock, if I remember correctly.
It's the last
Yeah.
check of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it was-
It was a left side check. It wasn't that bad.
It was
Okay.
Vire. It was
Chime
Vire.
was the last check in D6 because I'm like I can't
Ah,
run this
that's what
any
it
other
was,
way,
okay.
and I really need to get these shells.
Yeah, but you pulled off the super jumps in D6 beautifully.
Oh yeah, I was just like, yep, let's go. The worst part is like you can see in a lot of me with this where I like start going one way and then realize I can't do something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
noticed
no.
that.
I did that same thing. I went to Eagles Tower relatively early, hoping I would get a key along the way. I did not. If I had went and done Raft first, I would have saved a whole bunch of time on that because I ultimately came down, did the Raft, and then immediately went back up to Eagles Tower.
That double ego Starbreak might be why we won. Like
Yeah.
literally.
That's
that
very
small
tight.
bit.
It actually is the whole reason you guys won.
Yeah.
If I'd have made the right choice and instead of gambling on getting one before I got there, but didn't work out for us. But that's the way cookie crumbles.
It's
Yeah,
random.
no.
You got to gamble from time to time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
My D6 roadie is like, okay, I have the key. I can fight the mini boss and then just go do it backwards and get the chime early. And I'm like, oh wait, no, that requires a second key because I can't jump over that backwards. And I'm just like, well, that was an idea. Let's just keep going the other way. Or when I started to do my flippers checks and I pop into the cave to do the one dive and then start swimming back and I'm like, oh wait, no, I needed to do Mambo. No, it's fine. I'll do moat and then save and quit all the way back here for some dumb reason.
Oh, I was
Like-
having the awfulest time with horizontal super jumps. Like they were not working for me today at all. Even the easy ones, the one in D3 just to skip the conveyors, I couldn't even get that one today. I don't know what was wrong.
You can grab open joystick display. It is a freeware input display. It's the one I actually use for my streams. When I'm having trouble with that, I normally take a peek and I see that the D-pad's generally trying to roll, so it's adding that extra non-horizontal input, and that's generally what screws it up. And
Yeah,
then
could be.
I get a new controller.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, if you're also playing on BizHawk, you could also have inputs being displayed, so that way you could also see what's going on with that.
This is true. But yeah, that's a good game, you two. I like that it was so close. It's
Yes,
making
it was great.
the tension is great. Like
Yeah,
we
no,
were
it
worried,
was
like,
it was real
every bit.
close.
Yeah, every bit of the way we were worried. And when like I popped over, we saw you had boots. Like 'cause we finished and saw you had boots. I'm like, oh my god, they wrote it so much better than we did.
I mean,
Like, yeah.
you had the pressure now, and you're about to have a lot more pressure here going into the finals.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an insane race. I'm gonna need to bring my A game.
You might need to bring your double A game.
I choose triple A's. They are the superior battery.
I mean, that's fair. They're the most compact battery of them all.
Beyond watch batteries, but we don't talk about those. Those die in a week.
Or even the quadruple A's, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have anything else that I can think of to ask. Ravioli, you got anything?
No, I just want to say this was a really fun thing to watch. I've never seen one of these before, so I'm gonna brush up on Link's Awakening and keep watching.
Hey, and I'm not gonna try and say, hey, y'all need to do this sort of thing, but just to put this out here, Archipelago's got a whole bunch of different games that's not just, Final Fantasy and Link's Awakening that we've seen here. They've got almost 24 games, I think, that they're running now, and they range from stuff like Final Fantasy, old NES games. They've got newer stuff. I think the newest thing that they're working on, I don't think it's technically out, and maybe I'm not supposed to talk about it, so I'll drop that for now. But one of the newer ones they've got is Messenger. So they're working on Doom right now. Actually, I think that was in the last release. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that people can play, and you can make really wild stuff out of all this. And can get really large really fast.
Oh,
I mean, raise his hand. Hi, I'm an Ocarina of Time player for it.
Yeah, no,
I-
that one can get ugly when you put a lot of stuff in it.
I mean, I totally haven't had to hover to Ganon's castle because of glitched logic. Nuh-uh.
But yeah, no, it's a load of fun, and even if for people watching, if you're not into the race and the live sort of mentality, they're almost always hosting some sort of an asynchronous game where you can play whenever you get to it. And admittedly, a couple of weeks ago, I was probably getting a little irate with some of the people I was playing with because I wanted to get everything cleared out before all of this started. Since I've been eliminated, I guess I could start playing those again and not be a little jerk about it. But yeah, no, if you're into playing things more slowly at your own pace, it's a good way to learn a game, a randomizer. If you're somewhat familiar, don't go straight into playing with a bunch of other people if you don't know the game. I've had that happen. That can get kind of ugly.
definitely get it with your friends first, or a small community like even FFR. Like people will completely understand, or the LADXR community as well. If you just
Yep.
wanted to be like, hey, can we like try some multi-world or some Archipelago? Most of us would be like, hey, yeah, no, it's totally fine, and we're very open to new players and teaching stuff. So
Yeah, and every now and then somebody will host an async on the Archipelago Discord server where this is a beginner thing. So we know people are learning it. You're going to figure it out. Whatever. Again, probably want to at least have some experience with the game. I've seen some people pick up a game brand new. I'm like, yeah, that's a little much. But yeah, now I've picked up new randomizer games in some of those in the past, and it's a real fun time.
It most absolutely is. And I mean, even on that note, we even have some sync games that happen from time to time here on the FFR server as well. So you can actually jump in on those and play just about whatever you want. Granted, I think it's been a while since we've last had one. But I think with that, we should probably jump over to final thoughts. So, Dark Moon, you
Yes.
finished first overall.
Yeah, that's a shock, isn't it?
A little bit. Final thoughts.
Well, this has never happened for me before. I'm a little confused. I don't know how to take it. No, this was a fun race. I really like this flag set, and I like the way that AP plays it. Because it's just go for shards and pray, and I can do that. And then just the way that AP allows you to just reset out of checks and keep everything that you found that's even halfway viable. It's so much more strategy than even just the standard co-op. I really, really enjoy it. So this has been fun for me. Even if we don't make it through finals, if we don't win, then I'm just going to be happy that I got to play this because it's been a blast.
And by the way, because I don't think I've said this to anybody yet, do you know how long Luffy and I took to actually iron out these flags?
How long?
A grand total of 8 hours. Literally.
They're very playable. I really enjoy them. I actually like this week better than last week because shards is more fun than orbs. And just the way it works, or I guess there was shards last week, but I meant having the world more open is more fun. That was what I was trying to say, and I got confused. The just so many more checks that don't require canoe, because the first time, one of the first seeds we played in this, I was basically stuck for half an hour waiting for canoe. So just having more and being like, well, this item will do something for me, or this get me anything, Maddie, and I can just go do something. So that's interesting, and I like the way it works.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, you're next.
oh boy. Well, I'm glad that these seeds are nice because I know Floaterless is in the next set. That said, 4 instruments, there's going to be so much more mandatory items, so it's going to be a much bigger puzzle game, and those hints are going to be very important. The main thing that I've been really enjoying about this so far, just to spread my thoughts on that, is there's a lot of variants that you can have in the FFR routing with this open level of world, and it makes a huge difference for the LADX or the LADX player, just because You could dip Ice Cave that, has boots in it or something, or where Feather is located, and, the Final Fantasy player avoids it just because it's not something they normally do, and the end result is just such a big difference for the LADX player. It's really knowing what you have and trying to make the most of it. Like, I missed bombs in race 1, and
Yes,
just
you
like,
did.
it's just like, how can I get away with not using bombs? But yeah, puzzles are what I love most in LADXR. If it's like, you have this small selection of items, figure it out. So this has been a huge opportunity for me to just try a lot of that, and having the additional, like, specifically searching out Final Fantasy items has been quite the treat in terms of, like, how do I solve this problem as fast as possible for the sake of them. So, been a lot of fun.
And now we're gonna move over to Team Avalon and start with you, Link.
No, it was a lot of fun in tournaments. It's my first like Archipelago tournament that I've done, but I've been doing some massive Archipelagos on somebody's server. We just finished one with 53 people doing it. I think we had like 15,000 items or something like that got shuffled. It was loads of fun, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next Archipelago tournament that shows up.
And last but not least, Rads, it's all yours.
Yeah, I just want to reference Link. You talking about your big server AP thing. The main Archipelago server does what they call now the official TM async. That is, I think the last one was 1,300 people. So yeah, that's a lot of checks, and it takes months to complete. We've got spreadsheets to keep track of stuff and help with that. It's a big undertaking, and it's not quick. But to get to the race, I can't say much more that anybody else hasn't said. The seeds have been great in terms of variety. Some of the seeds themselves have been trashed, but
Not gonna mention, the one I rolled.
yeah, some of them have not been
was
great.
trash.
This one was actually pretty good. I know the omelet race this morning, they had a great seed. It was neck and neck through that whole thing because there wasn't a big you miss it and everybody's just they're toast for the rest of the race. But yeah, it brings a different level of strategy when you're playing it like this versus playing a single rando, or even, like, say, co-op between two games that are the same. When you've got this difference in how things go, it really changes things. Now, where I will disagree with Dark Moon is I actually, for LADX, I preferred the first round seeds, because since you have to beat the dungeons, the keys are give you kind of a pathing idea, whereas with this, it's like, okay, go wherever you want to go, which is, it's great in one sense, but it's stressful because you're like, okay, well, do I make the right choice or do I not? But yeah, no, I've had fun. First time doing any sort of a race before. So I'm glad I made it to the second round. I was glad that it was as close as it was. I honestly figured I'd get blown out in the first round and drag poor Link down with me, but we actually, stayed in there. I wish we could have got a game 3 out of this at least, but I made a bad call. Didn't do the raft first and went to the mountain instead, but that's how it goes.
I mean, words of the wise, rando gonna rando.
Yep.
Well, Ravioli, you want to throw out any final thoughts before I take us on home?
All I can say is, where has Archipelago been my whole life? It sounds so fun hearing you speak of it. So what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for so long?
What are
to
you
check
waiting
this out? I know. It's just really interesting. It's really cool. That's
I
all
only
can
got
say.
into it like 6 months ago myself, so picking it
Sure.
real fast.
Oh yeah, it'll pick up real fast once you actually get into it. But yeah, where Archipelago is over on archipelago.gg.
Sounds good.
So yeah, we are done with the semifinals. Our finals are going to be Pizza Power versus, and I apologize about my French here, The guerriers de l'omelette.
Les guerriers de l'omelette.
I mean, I was close, right?
Solid 3 out of 5.
I'll take it. My French is very, very rusty, so
My French is non-existent.
I will take a solid 3 out of 5. I am very, very excited for the final round, and before we actually jump into that, and I truly take us on home, Maddie, need to ask you, how are the instruments being decided for the races?
They will be randomly rolled by the one making the seed. So they will randomly determine 4 numbers between 1 and 8 through whatever means they seem appropriate. I don't think we have anything specific. I think the FFR bot might be able to pull it off if he can be defibrillated in time.
So what you're telling me is if I roll, I'm rolling 4d8.
Basically, yes. And I'm hoping that it's all the cheaty ones, but then I also realized, dang, that also means BB would get the cheaty ones, so it's a really hard call, knowing that I'm going up against a speedrunner basically of my caliber.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's how the dungeons are going to be determined for the finals, and then there very well may be a bonus race of full clear simulator, and we'll determine whether or not that happens later. If you enjoyed what you have seen, definitely come into the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord, the LADX Randomizer Discord as well. Both very welcoming communities. We'll teach you everything we know, and then even try to teach you some things we don't entirely know. Maddie has taught me a lot of my stuff, as well as Pink Batman. I would say 2 of the most premier LADX runners that we'll see more often than not, since I don't know if we see Dragon all that much.
The Dragon does stream, just not as vocal about it.
Yeah, so that's fair.
And I mean, this tournament, I went from a casual player to I'm doing super jumps and I'm doing flamethrower skip and stuff like that, stuff that I had never done before in the span of about 3 weeks' time. So you can pick this stuff up pretty quick if you're familiar with the game already.
Case and point right there. Definitely join the Discord servers. I mean, if you enjoy the YouTube videos and you do want to try to give FFR a shot, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. I don't have the link for the LADX randomizer memorized yet, so Maddie, if you know that off the top of your head, go for it.
In terms of it, I would recommend. Oh God. So the actual bit is dade.github.io/LADXR with an additional slash. That will take you to the randomizer, and that has links to basically everything, including the Discord channel that runs that, the randomizer itself with every choosable patch for it. Otherwise, you're looking at Archipelago for the Archipelago version of everything.
And you'd find that at archipelago.gg, and you can create your own YAML, have your own settings as you wish, whereas with the FFR's side of that, you actually generate everything on the FFR site.
Yes.
But with that, I do believe it is time for us to say adieu for the night, as Darkmoon, Maddie, BB, and Ham all will have to prepare and steel themselves for the finale. With that said, and I'm going to take a page out of my friend Luffy's book, FFR fam, as well as LADXR fam, we gone.